Bonjour, c'est Clara French in the Midlands. Today's video is a bit longer than usual. It's about 15 really advanced spoken French expressions. These are absolutely indispensable if you want to speak at level B2, C1. They're expressions which are used in everyday language. Now, before we go any further, I just want to remind you that you can claim your free ebook, The 12 Golden Rules of French, at the link in the description. It's a short ebook that's packed with tips and tricks on how to sound like a native French speaker. The first one we use all the time is on dirait. Now this one's in the present tense, and in a minute I'm going to give you the same in the past tense, just so you can compare. On dirait replaces in English it sounds like, it feels like, it tastes like, it looks like. So it's quite handy really, we've only got the one in French. Tu entends? On dirait le chien de la voisine. Do you hear that? It sounds like the neighbor's dog. So you see how it's used? It's actually used in the present tense, even though it's actually in the conditional. Dirait is conditional of dire, would say, but we just use it for it sounds like. Then you've got the same in the past tense, so we put it in the past conditional. On aurait dit, which is it sounded like, it felt like, it tasted like, or it looked like. So I'm going to give you the same example as above in the past tense. Tu as entendu? On aurait dit le chien de la voisine. Did you hear that? It sounded like the neighbor's dog. Now the next one is comment tu fais pour, which again is in the present tense, and again I will give you in the past tense in a minute. And that means how do you manage to? It's very familiar. Comment tu fais pour finir ton dîner aussi vite? How do you manage to finish your dinner so quickly? In the past tense, comment tu as fait pour? How did you manage to? The above example becomes comment tu as fait pour finir ton dîner aussi vite? How did you manage to finish your dinner so quickly? The next one is used almost on a daily basis. We use tu n'as qu'à. Obviously when we speak fast we say t'as qu'à, which means you'll just have to, or to translate the word just. Tu n'as qu'à lui dire que tu ne peux pas aller à son mariage. You just tell him you can't go to his wedding. You could have said you'll just have to tell him you just can't go to his wedding. In the past tense, it becomes tu n'avais qu'à, which is t'avais qu'à for fast spoken French. And here the meaning is slightly different. It could mean you just had to, but we tend to use it for you should have, instead of tu aurais dû. Tu aurais dû is nice and formal, standard French. Tu n'avais qu'à is really familiar. Tu n'avais qu'à lui dire que tu ne pouvais pas aller à son mariage. You should have told him you couldn't go to his wedding. Next is pour que, again used in everyday speech. So that, it's a very useful connector. J'ai fait une liste pour que tu n'oublies rien. I made a list so that you don't forget anything. Really, you wouldn't say that in English often. You would say, I made a list so you don't forget anything. Ça y est is another one. Ça y est means that's it or I'm finished. It's got that meaning. Ça y est, je suis prête. On peut partir maintenant. That's it, I'm ready. We can go now. Then we have seulement or c'est que. They're kind of interchangeable. And they mean the thing is, c'est que j'ai laissé mon portefeuille à la maison. The thing is, I left my wallet at home. The next one, ah, je te jure. We use this one a lot. It means, oh, bloody hell, or it can mean honestly. It's a term of exasperation. Ah, les bureaucrates, je te jure. Honestly, bureaucrats. That's usually where you roll your eyes up. The next one is qu'est-ce qui te prend? Can't really be translated literally. It's what possesses you or what's gone into you. For instance, qu'est-ce qui te prend? Pourquoi tu t'énerves comme ça? What possesses you? Why are you so angry? And then, qu'est-ce que ça peut bien me faire? Or, qu'est-ce que ça peut bien faire? You don't have to put the me in. Meaning, who cares? Or, I don't care. Les voisins ne nous aiment pas? Qu'est-ce que ça peut bien me faire? Neighbors don't like us? Who cares? The next one is quite difficult to translate in English because you don't have an exact meaning for that. C'est un coup à. It can also be used in a plural. C'est des coups à. And it kind of means you're asking to... I'll show you the context you can use it in and you'll understand. Se baigner dans le lac en hiver, c'est un coup à attraper froid. Open water swimming in winter, you're asking to catch a cold. Qu'est-ce que tu en sais? Also shortened to qu'est-ce que t'en sais? Means how do you know? For instance, tu dis que ce camping est propre, mais qu'est-ce que tu en sais? You say this campsite is clean, but how do you know? Now these two expressions I have mentioned elsewhere, but they're worth repeating because they're quite important. When you say comment ça, and somebody looks like they don't quite understand what you're saying, it actually means, what do you mean? So if you could say, for instance, comment ça tu veux abandonner tes études? What do you mean you want to give up your studies? Then you've got c'est pas possible. Now c'est pas possible can mean two things. It means literally it's not possible, but that's not the meaning I'm on about here. It's an expression of exasperation and it means I can't believe it. You'll know from the tone which one it's about. You can't possibly mistake one for the other. C'est pas possible. Les enfants ont encore dessiné sur le mur. I can't believe it. The kids have been drawing on the wall again. And now for the last two, probably the most important in speech. Tu parles. It means you're kidding. That's the sort of thing you add at the end of a question that someone or a statement someone's telling you. For instance, Muriel, c'est ta meilleure amie, non? Tu parles. Isn't Muriel your best friend? You're kidding, right? And then there's tu m'étonnes, which means I totally agree. Cette maison est superbe. Tu m'étonnes. This house is superb. I totally agree. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. À bientôt.